Now that you've hit the prison officer, we're all going down with you. Everyone was stricken with panic. They thought that they'd gotten an ordinary new member. They just didn't expect that he was a bad luck magnet. Immediately after entering prison, he turned the whole place upside down. What a mess. Don't panic, everyone. I'll take responsibility for my actions. After that, Dustin dusted his hands off and returned to his cell. Young man, I'm afraid you won't be able to handle the consequences of what you've done today. Cornelius shook his head. Do you know who the warden of Azkaban is? He's an extremely powerful grandmother martial artist and a sadist. Back then, he personally threw me into Azkaban and tortured me ruthlessly for 7 days and nights. In the end, he even put a lock in my shoulder blade and sealed my cultivation. He made me endure excruciating pain every single day. You haven't experienced it before. You'll never know how terrifying this person is. If you fall into his hands, you'd wish you were dead. If this place is HL, then he is the fiercest, vilest demon. After hearing this, everyone else couldn't help but shudder. The warden had a terrifying reputation. To them, he was the dictator who decided whether they lived or died. The deeply rooted fear was why they didn't even dare think about protesting. It was because they all knew that if they did, they'd suffer a fate worse than death. That evening, in the back garden of the Falong estate, Scarlet was playing chess with her assistant general. She was dressed in a red tracksuit, and her hair was streaked with gray. After a long game, Scarlet only had her king and two pawns left on the WH8 side of the chessboard. She was only one step away from defeat. Madam, it's your turn. Across from her, Georgia was wearing a smile, sure of her victory. During training, Georgia usually got a good beating. It was time she finally got even on the chessboard. She just needed one more move to win. Checkmate. Scarlet picked up her white king and knocked over the black one. You lose. What? Georgia was confused. She cried, Madam, the king can only move one square. That's the rule. Other people's kings can't, but mine can. Anyway, you lose, Scarlet said seriously. Madam, you're cheating. Georgia was getting heated. There aren't that many rules on the battlefield. I'm just improvising, Scarlet insisted boldly. Georgie wanted to cry, but there were no tears. It was one thing to cheat, but Scarlet even justified her cheating. Madam. At that moment, the other assistant general, Bridget, walked in and reported, Madam, I just received word that we found the whereabouts of the person you're looking for. He's been located. Where? Scarlet jumped to her feet. Her normal cold expression was filled with surprise, a rare sight for all. In Azkaban. In one of the studies in the Homin estate, Natasha wrinkled her eyebrows in confusion. Dad, are you really going to make Kate marry Tyler?